Hello YouTubers, I hope this camera's working properly. My phone's been a little bit unpredictable over the last few days, so if it's not, I'm going to apologise in advance. I will take my hands away in a second and then we'll know. But somebody left me a comment the other week. I wasn't ignoring you. You asked for a Concertina tutorial. Well, you're going to get one. And here is the little box in question, the English Concertina. This one is a 30 key model, and the tune we are going to learn, we're not going to do a song today, we're going to learn a tune. And normally our tutorials are in the key of C. Well, I've decided that we're going to change key. We're going to learn the key of G, including the G scale and a great little tune you just heard a bit of there, the Skyboat song, which will allow us to really get our fingers moving on the buttons and get us used to moving fairly fast. We're not going to play 90 miles an hour, as you know by now. That's useless. You won't learn anything that way. So we'll just play at a very relaxed pace, just gently ease our way into a nice tune, and so on and so forth. Now, the first thing we need to learn is our G scale, and the concertinas are great for this scale. If you've got lower notes on yours, the odds are that your standard treble concertina will have this low G note. Some do go down a bit lower. Some have ridiculously high notes, the 48 key ones. Some people have got those reeds changed for lower notes. It all depends on your box. So our G scale begins with this button here, right on the low end of the box. So it's a bit of a stretch. Just look at my hands, see where they are on the box. You can tell I don't use that one very often. So our G scale is like this. To do a bit of foraging around for that G note, so we'll just do that last part again. Now remember, I mostly use just my first and second fingers for playing the concertina. You can use whatever fingers you like, what's most comfortable for you. Some people actually use 3 fingers. I can't do that. My hands are too big. But once you get your G scale down, it's time to learn the Skyboat song. I'll play it once all the way through, and then we'll break the tune down phrase by phrase. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the whole tune. This is an old Scottish tune. It's not just a tune, there are words to it, but I can't remember all the words. And the key of G can be a little high for me to sing in, or a bit low. And my Scottish accent is appalling. So we'll just work on the tune for today. So our first phrase, and the other thing I want you to watch as well, as we go through these phrases, you'll have noticed when I played the tune all the way through, how I do that with my bellows sometimes, either that way or just to give them an extra burst of air and just to make the instrument breathe a little bit. Because when you're playing an instrument with air coming through it, it is like a set of lungs. You're making the instrument breathe. And sometimes when we sing, we breathe a certain way to make certain words more dramatic or what have you. And that's exactly what we're doing with the concertina. So the first phrase begins on our D note. D, E, D, G, G, A, B, A, D. That's your first phrase. And it's a nice steady count as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So it's not quite 4/4 time, is it? Because there are ands in there. So I don't think it's a 6/8. My musical theory isn't brilliant, but the way to count it through is like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, rather than going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, because then you're having to put extra notes in there and it just makes the tune sound silly. So again, that first phrase, D, E, D, G, G, A, B, D, B, A, D. And then to our second phrase, B, A, B, E, E, D. Now, at this point, you could, if you can reach, slap a B note on to make a partial G chord. Or you could go up here. It doesn't really make sense to do it up here because your next note you're going to need is another D. You're going to repeat the phrase. And then the last phrase of the verse, B, A, B, E, E, G. Now you could use a chord there. You could add a B and D on both ends of the box to that note. This makes a very definite ending to the verse, gives you a nice chord. Now, if you can reach on the chorus, you can do a full E minor chord. Not really necessary. Sometimes I'll just do a partial chord up here. But really, you want to be playing the melody. B, G, B, B. Now you can play A, E, A, like I did, or you could play A, F sharp, A. So whichever one works. It all depends how your singer is singing it. Just to remain constant, we'll use the E. So B, G, B, B, A, E, A, G, E, G, 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 E. That's a lot to remember, so let's break that in half. Okay, that's the first bit. And then the final part. Now the second part of the chorus, the last phrase of the chorus, is almost identical. Except it changes on this bit. And you can just play a single E note. But what I like to do on this last bit is use a couple of chords. A partial C chord. And then a partial D major chord. either up here, but more realistically, here. Both on the same row. See? So, run through that last bit again. You already know. You already know. And here's where the change comes in. C chord, D chord. And then the verse repeats itself. Now, if you want to do any cuts or trills, I'll leave that up to you. Grace notes, ghost notes, trills, whatever, cuts, whatever you want to call them, they all have their place. And indeed, it's up to yourself where you want to use them. I'm just showing you the very basic, simple version so that you can get the song into your head and memorized quickly, because of course we don't use tab on these videos. You just listen to the tune and then you have the luxury of being able to pause or rewind it as you see fit, or fast forward, and away you go. But that is the Skyboat song on the English Concertina. Thank you to the gentleman or lady that suggested it, and I'll see you next time. Got a busy few weeks ahead, lots of shows coming up, and I hope to see some of you there. Take care of yourselves, won't you? Bye.
Switch on. Stop recording video.